Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. I'm up here at Port Stephens, and specifically I'm at Fingal Bay Spit, and just standing on the end of the spit here. But as you can see, there is deep water. There is deep running water between here and the island over there where the lighthouse is situated. And the reason why the spit is no longer here is that last year in winter, and this year as well with our big storms, the sandbar that joins this peninsula with the island has been washed away, and there is deep water. There's at least 300 or 400 metres of water between the end of the beach where I am here and that island, which makes it virtually impossible to get across to. So we're kind of hoping now in the years to come that we get some storms that will blow the waves and blow the sand to cover up this spit, so that we can once again walk across to that island and rediscover the lighthouse, which is a great place to be during winter, because the whales come in nice and close to the point, and you often see them breaching and frolicking in the waters just off the island there. Anyway, thanks for joining me on Jim's 5am Club. We'll go for another walk and talk. This will be my fourth 5am Club for the day, so I'm being quite productive. I sat down last night for about 2 hours and cranked out a few notes for a few different books, and we'll see how we go. So this morning, what I want to do is take you through another book summary entitled Peak Performance, by a dual authorship of Steve Magness and Brad Stulberg. So this book is all about achieving peak performance, of achieving your very, very best. And what more can we say? There's a number of lessons here, a number of important lessons that many people, I'm sure, are not aware of. But the author here kicks off the book with a quote suggesting that growth comes from a point of resistance and skill comes from a struggle. So we've got both resistance and struggle in our lives, which determine our growth and our abilities to grow and develop. So the author kicks off the book here suggesting that we all are interested in growth and development, but there are temptations to include performance-enhancing substances in our lifestyles in order for us to short-circuit that growth phase. But what the author here suggests is that the short-term benefits of using performance-enhancing substances comes at a great price, and really it's not worth your while taking the shortcut, because there are health, mental and other consequences that come with it, which will hit you later on in life. But I guess we've all been there. We've all been at uni. We've all been burning the candle at both ends, and we've all looked for ways of enhancing our performance, keeping ourselves awake long enough to do that last minute cram study where we stay up all night before an exam to try and force feed our brain with all the notes that we'd borrowed throughout the year. But the author here reminds us that about 30% of college students use Adderall, which is a drug for ADHD, which helps you stay focused and relaxed. And he says, well, 30% of the students use this performance enhancer. Only 6% of the population are said to have ADHD. But the problem, according to the author, of using these performance enhancers is that sooner or later they will lead to burnout. So causing you problems, causing us all problems. So I guess steer clear of them, and don't be tempted to use it, but look for other ways of enhancing your performance. And the author raises a very valid point, and something that I've never really appreciated, because I'm not a student of rest. I don't spend too much of my time resting, but the author here tells us that rest is often overlooked, but an absolutely critical component of peak performance. So what the author is suggesting is sometimes the best thing that you can do in order to achieve your very, very best is to spend more time resting, more time sleeping, more time in downtime, rather than thinking and overthinking and being too active with what you're doing. And they give examples of how there are some Olympic athletes who sleep up to 10 to 12 hours a day. And this sleep is part of their training regime. They're forced to sleep as much as they can, because according to scientists, that sleep and rest is really, really important. Because what happens between training sessions is what really makes the difference. So train hard when you train. By all means, train hard, be focused when you're training. But in between those training sessions, and this is something that I never quite understood or knew or appreciated, but it's what you do in between those peak performance scheduled times throughout your day that make the difference, make the real difference, according to the author. Not just a difference, but make the real difference. So the importance and the power of resting. Because the author reminds us that you need to give your body time to recover and rebuild the parts that have been broken down by your training and by your pushing yourself to the limits. Because as we're saying here, when you train, we want you to train hard. We want you to push yourself to your absolute limit. But when you finish training, what you need to do is you need to give your body the gift of rest. Not only your body, but the same is also for your brain and other components used for your success. You need to give rest to your relationships. You need to give rest to your brain. You need to give rest to your digestive system, to your body. And hence why Christians incorporate fasting into their lifestyle and their routine. The Greek Orthodox, for example, fast for 2 days every week, every Wednesday and Thursday, where they limit the calories that come into their body and also the food types which come into their body. But also throughout the year, there are periods of fasting such as Lent, Holy Week, Christmas, the 15 days leading to Spanagias, the repose of the Most Holy Virgin Mary, and also the Apostle Fast, which once you add them all together, work out to be almost half of the year is spent on fasting. And when we talk about fasting, we mean fasting in terms of food, fasting in our thoughts, fasting in our activities, and fasting in the volume of things that we do, so that we give our body a true rest. So the Christian religion has understood that fasting is a very, very important part of our nature, and something that is highly desirable and something that is expected from those who have the ability and the capability of fasting. Because the scientists tell us that rebuilding takes time. Rebuilding takes far more time than what you think and what you give it credit for. So we all need time to recreate, and that's why holidays are called recreation time, because it's time that we allow our bodies, our minds, our spirits, our souls, our relationships come together and basically replenish and re-nurture themselves. So the last point that comes out of this book is that we need to understand that the quality and quantity of work suffer when we try to multitask. And we should try only to do one thing at a time in order to be successful and in order to be productive. We need to give whatever we're working on our full attention. Behind me I've got a fisherman, and what he's doing at the moment is he's giving his hobby his full attention. And by giving his hobby the full attention, he's indulging in a thing called deep play, which enables your conscious mind to relax, but it allows your subconscious mind to work away in the background, to solve the problems, to solve the challenges, and to solve the other things that you have in your life, but to do it in peace, to do it in calm, to do it in harmony, so that you can come up with solutions without being stressed, without being worried, without being anxious, so that you can achieve the wonderful outcomes. You can delegate your problems to God, and God will fix those up, and He'll fix them up in partnership with you. Whilst you're indulging in deep play and relaxing and not stressing and worrying, your subconscious, as we said before, is mulling over the problems, is dealing with the many challenges that you have, and is solving them one by one, magically, and manifesting the beautiful and empowering solutions that we all need and we all thrive for in our lives. So give your tasks the full attention is the bottom line, and focus on one thing at a time in order to be effective is a simple message from this book. And there is a science to peak performance, which tells us that we need to respect and follow rest and recreation, and to allow ourselves time to achieve the wonderful things that we need to achieve in our lifetime, and not to push too hard all the time, but to learn to ebb and flow, to work hard, to relax, to rest, to give our bodies, our minds, our spirits, our souls, our cells, our digestive systems, everything that we can in order to make the most of what we have and to achieve the goals that we want to achieve in our lives. So thank you once again for joining me on this Easter Monday from Nelson Bay. And let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, and I feel absolutely great. I'm excited. But let's take some lessons. Let's take some lessons from this book, the book that we went through this morning on our journey up here at Nelson Bay. And the book, let me get it, is entitled Peak Performance, by the dual authorship of Steve Magness and Brad Stulberg, where we learn a few life hacks, where we learn to be connected, to be relevant, to be reasonable, and most importantly, to learn to incorporate rest into our daily schedule, into our lifestyle, to learn to fast from foods, from activity, from worries, from our passions, and give our bodies everything that they need, and give them time to be able to achieve the magic that we have available to us through the creation and through the gift of life that God has given us. So thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to coming to you again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go across to Mount Tomaree. There it is, Mount Tomaree. There we go. And do a couple of 5 a.m. clubs from up there, and make the most of this day where I'm recreating, I'm chilling out, I'm taking it easy, I'm walking along the beach, I've got the crashing of the waves just giving me peace, and we'll head up there now. So what I'm going to do, just so you're aware, is I'm going to walk along the beach and head up there to that little opening and head to my car, and then head to Mount Tomaree to continue my journey on Jim's 5 a.m. Club, where we can all hopefully learn of some material that we gain from other people's experience through the wonderful reading of books and book summaries, where we can become the wind beneath our wings to be partners in each other's growth and development, where we can share our experiences and help us get through the morning, get through the day, get through our lifetimes, where we can live, learn and pass it on. Take care. The sun is glorious. It's an autumn, beautiful autumn day. I'm feeling the sun on my face and it's just intoxicating. It's beautiful. So I'll talk to you again later. Yasas, and we'll chat again. Bye for now.